evening, Graham Rawlins with the Friday edition of News Geelong. Geelong people are in good voice before joining the eyes of the world later this evening, our time, as the fairy tale wedding of Prince William and Kate Middleton takes place in Westminster Abbey. Bowel Scan is an annual program run by Rotary International clubs throughout Australia, and Geelong is no exception, as the month of May always signals Bowel Scale Month. And later in the program, the Flying Hawk Nathan Curry brings us the action-packed world of sport, and Sparkling Lani Salathia will update you with the next week of weather in and around Geelong. There is something missing in the lives of families touched by autism. It's a sense of belonging, being somewhere where your child isn't the only one standing on the outer, not knowing how to join in on a conversation rather than just listening to all the milestones other children are making, and holding back tears. Meryl Friend reports on the Treehouse program.
Here at the YMCA gymnasium at the arena, there's a new group formed, and it's the Treehouse. It's for people with children with autism. And Sharon Demopoulos has got this group together so that mums and dads can come along and have a chat and share ideas, and the children can play in some fantastic facilities like this one. And I can tell you it's great fun. There's also a group they've got together for primary age children and teenagers in high school and adults with Asperger's as well. So for more information, you can find out more from the Treehouse.
A couple of months ago, my husband and I had an idea of setting up a support group for families in the Geelong area who have children with autism or on the autism spectrum. I work at the YMCA, so I took this to my CEO. We had a meeting with the Geelong City Council with Kylie Fisher. Rosemary Malone from Gateways came in, and the four of us, we all got together and we sort of nutted out a program where we could provide a service once a week, and families could come along and bring their children, where it's a relaxed, safe environment where they could talk to other parents. Children can play safely as they can in the gym here, and we can just share ideas and experiences, I suppose, with other families and give them some ideas.
So 5 years ago, your little boy Sam was diagnosed with autism. So when you were told that, were you given any advice of where to go and how to find out more information, or was it through your own investigation that you found that there was a need for a group like this?
Well, 5 years ago when Sam was diagnosed, that was done through Gateways. Then we went to a kindergarten program out at Greenville, which is specifically for autistic children. From there, when they start school, there's probably not a lot of whole families to do to get together. There's a lot of support programs and parent helper groups out there, but we really primarily wanted something once a week for a few hours for free where everyone can come, and even grandparents, if they've got a grandchild with autism, where do they go? So they're welcome to come. Adults with Asperger's, please come along and have a cup of coffee with us and share some of your experiences. So it's really... the idea was to have a whole family open support group once a week in a place where you can bring your children who are on the spectrum, where they can play without sort of being standing out with their behaviours or whatever issues they may have. So this was thought up by the Y. They came up and said, we'll auspice you. That way you become sort of a YMCA program and you have access to our facilities, which cuts our costs way down. So we have this place every Friday. We're here from 10:30 to 2 o'clock. Anyone can come in. Everyone that has some history or some experiences with autism can come in, chat to parents, have a cup of coffee. It's all free. Bring the kiddies and, yeah, just catch up with some people who may experience what you're going through.
It's a great service, and as with any situation, if you find you've got other people in the same boat, it's just easier, isn't it?
You just need someone to talk to, really, and the best time to get some experience, or the best people to get ideas from, are people who have been there, and to give you some hope, to let you know that there's progress and there's good times ahead, and everything really, it will be okay with support and people who understand you.
This is Meryl Friend from the arena for the Treehouse for News Geelong.
Thank you, Meryl. Don't be an idiot like me. Go and buy your bowel scan test right now. Don't wait until it's too late. These are the words of the strongest advice from Pat Norton, who 10 years ago did not do the annual Rotary bowel scan test and suffered the still life-threatening circumstances, the dreaded medical word no one wants to hear, cancer. Pat spends his time going through cycles of chemotherapy, sessions of radiotherapy and ongoing surgery in the hope of continuing to live one day at a time. Steph Cowdery reports.
Tonight I'm with the Belmont Rotary Club as they launch their bowel cancer awareness and testing program for the month of May. I'll be speaking to Pat Norton and Graham Hawkins about getting tested. So Pat, you have been diagnosed with bowel cancer.
Yep.
Can you tell us when were you first diagnosed?
About the middle of March in 2010, and came as a complete shock because I had no symptoms. There was nothing. I had no inkling. But when the diagnosis happened, it was not just for a bowel cancer, it was for advanced bowel cancer, which was terminal. I was going to die from it because it had spread from the bowel to my liver, to my lungs, and various other odd spots around the body. And so they said to me at the time that if I did nothing, I'd have about 3 months to live. But they've had me on chemotherapy and radiotherapy, and they're now looking at another kind of therapy, which is about radioactive treatment or something. But these are just holding it. They're not alleviating it. So their plan is just to alleviate any pain I've got and to keep me going as long as I can.
Now, you have been a part of Rotary for quite some time now.
10 years, yeah.
And during this time, you have been involved in selling the bowel scan kits.
Yep.
Can you tell us how...
Well, indirectly, I just set them up and help the people pack them and that sort of thing. Never ever occurred to me to buy one.
Do you think that if you had tested at the time since you started, that you would have any difference on your outcome or your treatment since?
Absolutely. If you find the diagnosis early enough, you've got a 90% chance of living indefinitely and a 10% chance, which is where I am, of dying of the disease. Because if it's early enough, they can cut it out. They can treat you with chemotherapy much more successfully. But because when I got it, there were no symptoms. So I had no idea until the diagnosis was done. And then I find myself now in a silly situation that the surgeons said, "Oh, we'll cut out your bowel cancer," which they did. I no longer have bowel cancer. But I've got liver cancer and I've got lung cancer that was spreading from the original liver cancer. So had even a year or maybe 2 years earlier, had the diagnosis been done, I would now be looking at an indefinite life in the future, same as you.
Stephanie Cowdrey with the Belmont Rotary, News Geelong.
Thank you, Steph. This is News Geelong Friday edition as we go to a break and return with more news after this.